Madhu, you've been saying through the week that these are dangerous primordial impulses, and where are you going to stop? Where is it going to stop? Do you actually take Diwakar Reddy's point that there is a potential balkanization process here? Or there are others who've argued India is a strong enough country to withstand many more small states?
I think this is the time to have a sense of rethinking the entire concept of federalism in India. That's how I see it. So as I said earlier in one of your programs, that I think Indians must learn now to live with each other. This whole business of linguistic or cultural or religious division of states has had its time. It was okay when it happened in the 50s and the 60s. But after that, I think we all need to get together to think about it.
So you're saying it's an anti-modern concept in a way?
I wouldn't categorize it as anti-modern or primordial or whatever.
Or that we're too much of a kitchen.
No,
sorry, Madhu, what's your question?
Smaller states is good for
I'm not a sizist, so smaller states, larger states
administrative
don't interest me.
But he has a question that administratively yeah.
Probably administratively viable. But let me make one very brief point. You see, when politicians, and I'm not pointing to one person, says the people want this, it's the voice of the people. Mr. Rama Rao said, you know, it's a people's revolution, it's spontaneous. That's what they said in '84 when Sikhs were massacred. That's what they said when the Babri Masjid was finished. That's what they said when Gujarat happened.
But there is a historical context to the Telangana movement. It has existed since 1969. I mean, I'm not sure whether they're clapping for me or you at this point, but there is a historical context. Can we oversimplify it? Okay, Ram. Yeah, but then I come to
firstly, let me clear a misconception. Please don't call it a smaller state because it will be bigger than 17 other states in the union that exist already. Firstly. Second point, to equate the movement for Telangana with something as heinous as a massacre that happened in Vad or something that happened in Ayodhya or something that happened in 1984 is ridiculous and preposterous. And what I would like to point out to Mr. Sharma here is primordial loyalties, as he's been harping for the last 1 week, do not last for 5 long decades. If these are ephemeral emotions, if they're transient emotions, they will not last for 5 long decades.
There are politicians who make a meal out of those primordial loyalties.
Please.
You would lose a career in politics if you didn't fan these ideas.
I've got somebody waiting to speak. Yeah.
He ultimately is casting aspersions on my
He's
profession.
Saying politics,
on your profession,
on my profession. I understand.
Yes, I am.
But the sort of dubious stand most people in India take, sitting in an armchair, casting aspersions on politicians, is ridiculous because at least we try to do something. We try to voice out the people's opinion.
Okay. Mehboob Saab, how do you approach this as a Hyderabadi? I thought Mohan Reddy made an interesting point that, you know, over time, and the way the Khichdi society is of India, where, you know, you can be a Punjabi living in Hyderabad, and you can be somebody from Chennai living in Delhi, and you can be somebody from Kashmir living in Mumbai. How do you today define identity in these terms? How do you see it, sir?
You should know that Telangana or Hyderabad had its own history and a background. Its culture, it's quite different. It was a separate entity for 400 years, not 1 day or 2 days. Then this city was nurtured by the Asifjai dynasty, to which, as my brother, younger brother Asad says, the contribution of my community has been tremendous for this development of this city. Nobody can deny that. Now the whole thing is that after 56, our community or my community has suffered the most. For instance, in 1956 or before that, we constituted 41% of the total workforce of the government. Today we are less than 1%. What about our culture? It has been badly affected. I don't underestimate or have nothing to say about the Andhra culture. They have also got a very fine culture.
But in modern India, some would say that these boundaries have become tougher and tougher, which is why Raj Thackeray gets criticized when he gets up in Mumbai and says, listen, outsiders keep away. Who's an outsider today in India?
No one.
No one. Exactly.
Hyderabad belongs to everyone. Absolutely. Hyderabad, in fact, Telangana belongs to everyone. Andhra Pradesh belongs to everyone. It belongs to each and every Indian who believes in the Constitution. Now he talks about all these things, fine. My simple question to people who are for division or not for division, please tell me that according to the population of Muslims, 9.2%, how many MLAs have you elected from Congress party, from TRS? There is not a single Muslim MLA from Telangana. And my population is 14%. This speaks a lot about our secularism, our liberalism, our magnanimity. When it comes to casting of vote, nobody wants to vote for
Okay, that's a different element. Yes, Devakar.
See, TRS born with only one aim, whereas other parties born with several interests. This party born only just for to create Telangana. That is their main aim.
But your party also supported the Telangana cause. They have a one-point agenda, but your party also supported it.
First of all, kindly listen to me. There are 119 MLA seats in this so-called Telangana. What happened? How many they got it? Just 10 seats. In democracy, number is very, very important.
I think that's a very good question. Why did your vote share plummet in this election?
I'll explain that. Back in 2004, TRS was the only party which was propagating the cause of Telangana. When it came to 2009, every single political party in the fray in Andhra Pradesh supported Telangana. Let anyone deny it.
Everybody knows
Congress.
that Mr. Rajshekhar.
So you're saying the vote got divided? Okay, guys.
Congress didn't fight the elections because it was YS Rajshekhar Reddy who was the chief minister at that time. But 2009, it was more of YSR and the Congress, because you were aligned with TDP and Devendra Gaud was aligned with the PRP.
So, what's your question?
The Congress won on a plank of unified Andhra. It didn't win on a plank Telangana.
All right, one second. Madhu, I want you to respond to that question. The perception is that as long as YSR was alive, there was just absolutely no talk of a separate Telangana because he was a strong leader, whether you think he was good or bad. And now there's a weak Congress leadership crisis, which is how Telangana has revived.
Let me remind my friend, is a Congress Congress manifesto says about Telangana, creating Telangana. When Madam Sonia Gandhi came to February 2009 to Secunderabad, she said it, Congress party in principle not against creation of Telangana. On the last day of assembly, Rajshekhar Reddy said it is neither he nor the Congress party against it. He appointed a committee. Even after the forming the government in 2009, Rajshekhar Reddy said we are for Telangana. Let me tell you, Congress said, I campaigned myself and even Mr. Rajshekhar Reddy and D. Srinivas, the PCC president, campaigned all over Telangana saying that.
Okay. Now, Madhu, you made your point. Let's move on. You clearly don't agree with them. You have a question.
What exactly is going to be your strategy, considering that the state gets formed? What is going to be your strategy in terms of, industrial growth, in terms of employment for the people? How is your carving out a different state going to affect the common man on the ground?
The common man living in any region of the state today, be it Rayalaseema, be it Coastal Andhra, be it Telangana, his life will not change immediately if he is in unified Andhra or if he's in, or whether he's in Telangana. That's
Can I ask you something?
It won't change overnight.
May I add a question to that? There is a perception here, and YSR used to say this using rhetoric, that soon, if you encourage this movement, you'll have to take a visa to go to Hyderabad. Now, there is a sense among Andhraites, I don't know how to sort of categorize people anymore, that if Hyderabad goes to Telangana, they're not welcome here. Can you clarify that that's not the case?
We've said that 100 times, and I want to also remind you that Rajshekhar Reddy was, again, this was political opportunism at its best, because only after the election in Telangana had concluded, at 4 o'clock in the evening, when the second phase election was about to set in roll, did Rajshekhar Reddy say that they have to take a visa to go to Telangana?
My only request to him is that would his party take back that slogan, Bhago Andhra Wale? And secondly, will he agree with me that, leave aside formation or not formation, let us at least request the Chief Minister that let him amend IPC and say that anyone who calls a settler, Andhraite or a Telangana is an offence. At least let us do that.
I think that's
how can you call a person a settler when he is saying live 60 years, 50 years?
And
make it an offence.
Okay, let me come to the non-political voices on this. Mr. Mohan Reddy, of course, tempers rise on a subject like this. But you said that this is not maybe the time to decide what's right or wrong.